Hi. So I wanted to do a collective check-in, and this will be relating to the energies of the new moon and the partial eclipse. I did try to get a look at it, but I can see it with the naked eye when the clouds are over. But I couldn't see it with my camera, although I did a lot of recording to try and get it. So interesting how your naked eye can see so much more than the lens of a camera. And yeah, I'm just getting my vision back now. So it wasn't the best thing because the sun is quite bright here today. But then there was a couple of clouds that had managed to jump in the way. So I suppose if we're going to start off with a new moon collective reading, we should really start with the moonology cards. And the new moon partial eclipse happening now is just like most new moons, really. It's all about awareness, but this is actually, I believe, the action. Interesting how I say the action, because what falls out is step out of your comfort zone. And that is the North Node, because that is actually what we're heading towards, the North Node. And when we're talking about awareness and change, we're looking at the awareness of our South Node, what's our past, and how we can use that to, well, how that informs us of the changes that are required. And awareness is such a powerful thing, because once we're aware of something, we then know that we have the power of choice, okay? So whilst we're always moving towards our North Node, we may not necessarily know what our purpose is, but that's okay, because everything that we take a step towards out of that South Node energy, from that awareness, it's you becoming unstuck, okay? So stepping out of our comfort zone is us kind of taking that awareness and then saying, I've known this for a long time now, but I keep questioning myself, I keep doubting myself, I keep questioning my intuition on that side of things. And this is how we start to trust those thoughts, feelings, and that inform the action, okay? Believe in the impossible, which is the blue moon. And then the last one is luck is on your side, the new moon in Sagittarius. So whilst we look at these three energies as a collective, stepping out of your comfort zone, believe in the impossible, this could be, and luck is on your side. So wherever you feel, I don't want to say lack, wherever you feel in your life a feeling of maybe, oh, it's never going to meant for me, it's not meant for me, I don't deserve it. I don't think a lot of you who would be listening to this would feel a lack of deserve. Not now, not after so much growth. I feel this is more like a, it seems like what is within reach is actually impossible, because what actually is in reach is what we actually want, okay? That is the feeling of what we want is actually what's within reach, because it's that want, it's that need, it's that wish fulfillment. And that is what we feel is impossible because it's out of reach. But actually it's saying believe in the impossible, because it is on its way, or it is very much there, ready to kind of place itself in front of you. This is like the Cupid's arrow, right? What we would believe would be a Cupid's arrow, but that you can only take that shot when you're ready for it. So this is all about the comfort zone that I'm feeling, is about that self-belief when it comes to these energies. It's having that self-belief in, do I stay here and hope for things to change, even though I've been aware for time after time, years after years, however long it may be, months after months, days after days, that nothing is going to change. Because I've tried all I can to make those changes with what I have. This is about stepping solitarily, if that's a word, out of your comfort zone, independently into a, I want to say new chapter, but we could typically say new chapter. It's more of you recognizing those, with that awareness, those situations in your life that you've been aware of for quite a long time, and now it's time to say, I can't do this anymore. I have nothing left to try and change this dynamic. I have nothing left to give again and again and again, because I've tried everything I possibly can. This is you breaking free of that. And you're going to feel such powerful energetical shifts. You might be feeling sick or them trying to release all of this toxicity that's within you. And the toxicity is not necessarily what we own, but it's also what we've held on to for quite a long time. Those unhealthy relationships, those dynamics, things that make us feel bad, make us feel ill, anxiety, for example. Whilst you're going through an energetical shift, we're always going to notice in our body, because it's our body and our emotions that actually show us that change. That's what we should be listening to, okay? Not necessarily the mind. Once we can comprehend what those emotions and those feelings and the side effects of those, i.e. in the form of anxiety, are telling us and teaching us, we are then able to align that with what's going on in the head and match those energies together, the head and the emotions. So this is such a powerful energetical shift for anybody who's listening to this right now, and it resonates with you, because what we're coming out of is the stuck energy of having the awareness but not believing the awareness. So let's have a look at this in more depth. For some reason I feel like there was something else I was going to say there, but then it's gone. So let's have a look at the Light Seers Tarot to give us a bit more insight. Just going to give it a quick shuffle. So this is a collective reading, and that's why I'm never ever specific in collective readings. So we talk about like a collective energy. Ace of Swords. How about that? That is the complete clarity of awareness right there. That is the complete clarity of truth, inner wisdom, unlocking those, unlocking the deepness of your higher self. It's listening to your higher self. It's believing in what you tell yourself. It's that clarity, okay? And if you can see here, there's also steps, as if you're going higher, can't even speak, stepping out of your comfort zone, accelerating in your movement. And when we talk about action and movement, it isn't always, you don't always physically have to do it. Sometimes we do. It's an energetical shift, which is all perspective. And that's what the Ace of Swords is about, is changing that perspective, figuring something out and believing it, releasing. The Two of Wands is believing in your choice. I believe the Two of Wands is believing in your choice. So when we're kind of, if we talk about the South Node and the North Node, the South Node is where we've been, okay? And we're always moving towards our North Node. So this, if we interpret these as South Node, where we've been, North Node, wishes, dreams, hopes, desires, anything that we want to move towards, but it seems impossible. It seems like it's out of reach. That's why she's just sitting there staring out into space. It all starts with awareness, okay? Yes, I believe that we get held back from our future destination, or whatever we want to call it, and we get held back because we believe in things changing for us rather than us changing for it, okay? So, and that again is energetical and perspective, and I don't want to keep repeating that, but I feel I have to. So we can't expect things to change, but we can change for it to transform and it to come in, whatever this may be for you. And like I say, collective reading, so it's not going to be specific to anybody in particular. Could be work, it could be creation, creating your own future, it could be love relationships, it could be harmony in family relationships. This is about being aware of all of those situations that you've been holding on to for such a long time, that have made you feel stuck, that have made you believe that you're not worth a destiny. But we all are, and we get to choose what that is. So let's have a look and believe in the impossible. It's interesting, isn't it? So believe in the impossible. We've got the Five of Wands and we've got the Moon, okay? So the Five of Wands, if you can look here, this person has got lots of, this is the same person, right? Let's just say this is the same person. And it's like them working together with everything that's in their mind, body, soul, trying to find the passion within. The Moon is, or reaching for what we believe is the impossible, the fire within. The Moon is kind of what, in a way, it's the illusionary self, but also the Moon can it depends on perspective, because also the Moon can be the forming of the truth, but it's what lies in between, okay? So both are real, it's just what one we want to believe, because we create that belief. So believing in the impossible is like, okay, I have this idea, I know what I want, I kind of have this vision and this sense and this deep inner knowing and this awareness. I can't physically understand or see what it is in front of me, but I know that I need to move, because the longer I stay here, the longer I'm continuously battling with the same thing over and over again. So when you step out of that comfort zone, you're just believing in the step you're taking, not the whole picture, not the infinite picture. It's the step you take into that, okay? Luck is on your side. Of course, Queen of Swords. The Queen of Swords, I believe the Queen of Swords is sometimes confused, okay? Because the Queen of Swords has a view which is open to perspective, but I also feel the Queen of Swords is also searching for truth, for clarity. And it's interesting because the Queen of Swords has this cup locked away in this little cage here, which is what we'd represent as the emotional body, okay? You don't have to be, and I bet the Queen of Swords has already been through a transition of having to lock her heart away to protect it, okay? Over a long, long period of time. The Queen of Swords is the strength of this, is almost like the barrier that's been put up to protect oneself, to protect, I want to say, integrity, because no one can take integrity away from us, but they can make us question it, okay? So with this Queen of Swords, she's had to do two different paths. One of the emotional lesson, so we're talking about masculine and feminine energies here. She's had to take the path of the feminine, which is natural to her, then step out of her comfort zone to become the masculine energy. But whilst believing in the masculine energy, that's shutting a part of our true, authentic self away. Although it's still there, it's just not as vulnerable as it was before. And in order for that vulnerability to be protected, she would have had to put up a massive barrier. So this Queen of Swords is now, what the awareness is here with this Queen of Swords is, so I've taken that path, I've stepped out of my first comfort zone and into this empowerment and this strength. So what's changed? Nothing. You've built versatility. You've become more independent, more emotionally balanced, resilient. There's a lot of strength in this Queen of Swords. However, you can't be one or the other. The purpose is to actually align both, to be able to have your have the strength to open that cage to your vulnerability, okay? That is what's here. It's like being able to be both the feminine aspect and the masculine aspect, okay? The creator and the doer, and putting that from those two singular paths all onto a brand new path, stepping out of your comfort zone. Look, right at the bottom, the Empress. The Empress, she is the creator of her own world. That is what I love about this card. What I love about the Empress is she embodies everything. And she's an acceptor. She is able to have that alignment with all those energies and be able to see the beauty in almost everything without questioning herself, bearing in mind that she is free-willed and dynamic, and whatever perspective lays within her is subject to change. And that's why we can see the beauty in everything. Okay, let's get a couple of cards to close this collective reading off. And then we'll get, I don't know, let's just see where we go. What other guidance and advice? Look at that. Patience. And that is what one card that I would say would be divine timing. Luck is on your side. Stepping out of that comfort zone. Oh, there's the Sun. And the Sun represents, I believe the Sun represents your our abundance. And abundance is infinite, so it doesn't have to be specific to any topic. It's the belief of it. Angel of balance, angel of strength, perspective. When I look at this financial constraints, I see perspective because one door's open and one door's closed. And then caring connections. And the caring connections is what I would say the Empress would be all about, is having that perspective on each and every person that has touched her life. And then at the bottom of the deck, you've got the Temple Path, which is all about your North Node. So stepping out of our comfort zone will open a brand new door into not balance, strength, caring connections. And I feel now we talked about paths, we're going to get a dragon path message for the collective here. And I'll read from the book. So what is the message here? Message, balance. What is the message here for the collective, please? And another thing is, like, that came out. Another thing, what is balance? The balance is, I'm gonna show you these two because one's at the bottom and one's just fallen out. What is balance? Balance is the opposites of everything, right? Balance is the eclipse and the full moon. the new moon and the full moon, light and dark, sun and the moon, hate and love. Balance is an acceptance, feminine and masculine. Balance is the acceptance of both and being able to hold them both. Can you bear with me 1 second, please? Hold them both in a form of perspective and understanding, and how without one you can't necessarily have the other, but equally if you have one, you can see the perspective of that one to balance it out into the other. So if you take a moment to kind of reflect back to something that really impacted your life, and then you kind of take a perspective view on that and think, well, if that hadn't have happened, would I be here now? Would I have learned this? You know, it's all about having the balance of perspective. So let's have a look at Divine Feminine, because this is a message for the collective. That's number 32. And it's time to stop playing small and claim your place within the circle of light. Divine Feminine is the smallest dragon I have yet encountered. She appeared near the time of the summer solstice, and her counterpart is Hernie, who symbolises the Divine Masculine. She is here to connect you to your Divine Feminine energy. She told me, you possess everything you need for your existence on Earth. All you need to do is accept and understand it. When we begin to realise that we no longer have to look outside of ourselves for answers and approval, or feel the need for possessions, we can begin honouring ourselves as spiritual human beings. We are exactly who we need to be and where we need to be at any moment. Divine Feminine, brings a sense of acceptance when we find ourselves at crossroads, and assures us we have an infinite resources to see us through. Why can't I read? Often she appears around the solstices or equinoxes, or at times we are coming to a completion of a cycle. She guides us to keep our faith and stay true to ourselves, following our inner guidance during transitional times. Although Divine Feminine is the smallest of all the dragons, she carries an immense power, and this is her message to you. It matters not how small you may feel on the inside. In truth, you are more powerful than you can ever begin to imagine. This power is deep within you, and you know intuitively what is required of you. It's time to stop playing small and claim your place within the circle of light so that you shine. Others are drawn to you like the sunrise on summer solstice morning. So own it. It is yours. Own it without fear or ego, but with acceptance and grace. She allows us for the first time to acknowledge and touch a feeling of personal power, for she encourages deep trust in the divine, which settles itself comfortably in our being. How about that to clarify that reading? Now I want to look at Father Time, because Father Time, I'm looking at Father Time with that other card that fell out, which was Patience, which I kind of connected with Divine Timing. So let's see what he says. If I can read, because I'm really struggling at the minute for some reason. Let yourself sink a little deeper into the abyss of quiet stillness. Father Time is probably as old as the universe itself. This commanding, wise old dragon will aid you to still the constant chatter of your mind and just be. His presence supports our grounding and brings focus to the moment. His aim is that we let go of linear time, for it is a man-made concept. His energy helps us to enter the void, which is particularly useful during meditation. His message today is, now, this moment in time is a gift, which is why it's called the present. Allow all time to stop and break your habit of clock chasing, because in reality there is only now. Let yourself sink a little deeper into the abyss of quiet stillness and let go. The man-made concept of linear time is illusionary. It only serves to fuel the doubts in your life. I am here to guide you to a more tranquil way of being, to be fully present in the moment. He goes on to say, the stresses of your existence are often due to your preoccupation with time. Find your point of centre, breathe and let go. Whether these anxieties are from a lack of time or a feeling of not being good enough, nothing is gained by being fretful. Stop setting yourself unrealistic timescales and such high expectations you can achieve without making it so difficult for yourself. You, as human doings, fail to see that much of your stress is unconscious, as it is as natural to you as breathing. Recognize this and release it. With this quietness in mind, Father Time aids you in finding clarity in all life situations and helps you to see the bigger picture, allowing you to reach a new level of understanding. How powerful are those two messages? Because we're talking about awareness and change. We're talking about clarity and stepping out of your comfort zone, believing in the impossible. It's the construct of your mind that is convincing you that you are supposed to be in that stuck energy, and it's not the truth at all, because if we were in that stuck energy and we were happy, then that would be the truth. But if we're feeling stuck and at a crossroads and struggling to make changes or struggling to have self-belief in ourselves, and you know, that is kind of a message to say we need to take a step out of that comfort zone. So thank you very much. I'd love to know where you are on your journey. So if you could leave a comment below, and maybe share if you know anybody who would benefit from this message. And if you would like to book a personal reading, not the collective one, then please contact me on the email address in the description box. Thank you. Take care. Bye.